Good night, good evening in my side of the world. Welcome back to the One in a Million channel. This is Eunice Chan coming to you with a brand new video on my brand new phone. I'm actually really tired right now and a bit dehydrated. But today, the reason I'm coming to you at this angle is because I really cannot be bothered to set up my camera right now. And a message came through me and I knew it had to come through right now because it's so strong and punchy. I'm not going to be able to stop thinking about it until I go to sleep. So I decided, you know what? Let's do this. One of the messages that came through for me that is this is really going to change things for some of you. If you feel like you have done everything in your life, you have done everything that you can think of to come up with solutions, to take action, to push forward, to make your life better, to come up with different ways and strategies to plan your way forward, and still your life is not where you want it to be. Still, you feel like you're not making the steps to move forward. You feel like you're not moving as fast as you want to be. You feel like you're not seeing results, like you're very results oriented, and you're getting frustrated that the results are not coming to you as fast as you see some others are receiving those results, and you're kind of wondering to yourself, like, what the heck am I doing wrong? Because it feels like I'm working twice as hard as everybody, and I don't understand why I'm not manifesting the things I want. So if you feel like you're having a hard time manifesting the things you want, this is really going to be for you. So I'm speaking from a person who used to work super, super, super hard. And I identified myself as a bit of a fighter. And overworking was like something I just took pride in. Like, I work harder than anybody I know. My work ethic is better than anyone I know. I stay up late while everybody's like sleeping and partying. And, I really took pride in that. But I found that the harder I worked, the harder I had to work. And the harder it seemed for me to attract the things that I want. And I didn't understand why this person over there is just so glowy and so happy and so radiant, so magnetic and attractive. Everything feels so easy for them. And I didn't understand that. It felt unfair. It felt like maybe I just have to work even harder. I knew that wasn't very sustainable. So I want to talk a little bit about the distinction between taking action in the traditional sense and taking action as a part of receiving. This is something that I have really learned to practice, and I feel like I'm really getting it in my life, where in the past year things just came very, very, very easily for me. And I feel like even though there are times when I stay up late, I work hard, I create these YouTube videos and I'm like editing and my eyes are tired, but like I love what I do. And for the most part, like none of it really seems like work. I spend a lot of hours coaching people. I spend a lot of hours talking to my clients. And none of that really feels hard for me. The action, like, is just receiving. And what's been really powerful is that if you look at me working from the outside, like as a third person, and you see me living my everyday, and you see me taking my actions, and you see me going through my to-do list, you'll think that, oh, she's doing the things to take action. She's moving towards her goals. She's making her plans. But I want to make a very clear distinction between taking inspired action versus taking action that feels misaligned. When you take action that you're doing it because you feel like, oh, I'm running behind, or I feel like, oh, that person's doing it, so I gotta one up them, I gotta move faster than them, that is really coming from a misaligned place. That's coming from like, I'm not enough, I have to try harder, otherwise people are gonna climb over me, they're gonna They're going to surpass me. They're going to grow faster than me. And then I'm going to be left behind. I'm going to be left behind in life. I'm going to fall behind, and I'm not going to be able to get to what I want. And other people are going to get, they're going to get it first. The difference between that and taking inspired action, the biggest difference I have to say is that when you take inspired action, the action becomes the final piece of receiving. In a sequence of receiving, you're not just like opening your hands and then like waiting for it to fall in your lap. Action is required, but action is the last piece of the sequence. So what that means is that when you take action from an inspired place, and when I'm talking about an inspired place, I'm talking about you have already received the idea. You already have the feeling that's like, oh, I have to do this. I want to do this. This idea won't leave my head. You know, very much like the feeling that I was telling you about just now. You know, I didn't even become aware that I was doing an act of receiving an idea, and me coming onto camera talking to you guys about this is the final piece of my receiving. I had the concept, I felt the thing, I knew what I wanted to talk about, and the action of doing it is the final piece of my receiving. It's me fully articulating the thing, the gift, the idea that I just received. But imagine if I came onto this video and I wanted to talk about taking action, because I knew that the last time I did a video was probably like 2 weeks ago, and I remain consistent with my YouTube channel. Imagine how that would feel like. Like if I came on here just to check off the box and do the thing without really feeling substantially something that resonated so true to my core, it's not going to land the same, right? And I wouldn't have received anything. And if I tried to give something to you without actually receiving it myself, then I would not be able to give anything to you. So I would probably just be rambling. So when we use taking action as the final step of receiving, then taking action is just like a sensible next final piece. It's not even the heavy lifting. Now, a lot of people feel like taking action is so hard. It's because they have to think about what the action is. And then because they don't feel like doing it, they have to motivate themselves to do it. Right? That's when motivating yourself becomes such an important conversation. And you can see in this channel, like, I don't talk about motivation. I don't talk about motivation because when you're inspired, you don't have to be motivated. You don't need to find some way to motivate yourself or manipulate yourself into doing something. You don't need any of that because you're inspired. You received it. You received the energy. You received the light. You received a recognition of who you truly are in your purest, most powerful identity. And from that place, you don't need to trick your mind into doing something that you don't want to do. Now, when you're doing something and you're like, I want to do it, I can't wait to get it out. I can't wait to see this project being born. I can't wait to see this taking shape. I can't wait the world to hear about this. I need to grab someone and I just want to tell this to them. When you're taking action from this place, then taking action is going to feel so easy. And this is probably one of the most distinct quality. It's like it's an emotional quality that you're going to feel. It's like the sense of lightness. It's this sense of effortlessness. Now, when I talk about effortlessness, it doesn't mean that you don't get tired after doing it. Like, you still work hard. You still put in the hours. When you see me doing this video, I'm still holding up the camera. I'm still talking. I'm still, the time's still running. I've been talking for like 12 minutes. Like, I'm still doing the thing. On the outside, you would see me taking the same action. But the difference is when I do it, it fulfills me. And I'm doing it to express something. I'm just articulating what I already received. So then It feels easy and it feels effortless for me because I don't have to bring myself to do it. So when you feel like you've been pushing and forcing something and you feel like you've been working harder than everybody else, and now you just want to like slump back in your chair and you just want to relax, I want to let you know that it's totally okay to just receive first and wait for it to come to you. Now, the question a lot of my clients ask is, what if I don't get it? Like, what if everybody else gets it and what if I don't get it? I don't understand. What do you mean that I don't need to take action? What I'm saying is, you just wait for it to come to you first. You wait for the idea to come to you first. If you have the idea, you have the impulse, go do it. That's the invitation. So, what seems to be hardest for a lot of my clients is, yeah, but how long do I have to wait? For how long? How do I know? How do I know it's coming? How do I know it's on its way? How do I know it's going to happen? I don't want to be like this forever. I don't want to be waiting forever. And when you keep repeating that to yourself, it feels like eternity. And the only thing I can really say to you is go live your life. Learn to be happy. Learn to heal. And as you live and as you learn to feel fulfilled in your life again, the receiving becomes easier because now your energy is flowing. You're not like checking the mail every like 2 minutes. The way that we sometimes get ourselves in a rut is that imagine receiving as kind of like a postman bringing notice telling you that you've got a package or a parcel that has arrived at the post office and you got a notification to go collect it. So, what people tend to do when they don't trust the universe and they don't trust themselves is that they just walk right up to the post office and they keep checking and they just wait in the post office and they keep popping their head in like every 2 minutes and say, is it there yet? Has it arrived yet? Is it mine? When we keep checking in at like not the right time, and when we have not received that notification that our parcel is here and we keep checking in, we will keep getting a no, right? It's not your time yet. It's not here yet. The idea hasn't arrived yet. Your parcel is not here yet, so there's nothing for you to collect. What happens then is when you keep asking, is it here yet? You'll realize that the answer is going to be no. And every single time when you receive an answer that is a no, and the more you receive that, and the more you hear that, and the more you register in your system, oh, it's a no again. Okay, well, let me check back in another 2 minutes. 2 minutes go by. You pop your head back in again. Is it here yet? Is it here yet? No. Right? Oh, okay, no. So, what does that mean? I keep getting no's. Oh, it must mean that I'm just a person who gets no's all the time in my life. I'm just a person who never gets a yes, right? But then this is a kind of self-perpetual cycle because we keep putting ourselves in that situation to keep getting the no. Now, if you were out living your life, if you were out just learning to appreciate the life that you already have, if you were learning to reconnect back with yourself, if you were feeling alive, if you were feeling just appreciative of everything that you have already created, and then all of a sudden one day, the postman comes along and drops off the mail and then tells you, hey, you've got a parcel. Wouldn't that be amazing? And you're like, oh, how delightful. Well, let me just go to the post office and collect my parcel. That is all you need to do. So the action of going to the post office becomes the action that you take. You don't need to revisit the post office every single day, and just because you take the journey from your home to the post office and from the post office back to the home, like, it doesn't matter how many times you walk there back and forth, doesn't matter how many steps you take, doesn't matter how many miles you walk, doesn't matter how hard you work and how hard you try, you're still not, you still won't be receiving because the notification is not here yet. So you've got to allow that trust to be there. You've got to cultivate that sense of self-assuredness, knowing that I can have an abundant life. I can have a very fulfilling life. I can feel alive already in my life and know that it is already on its way. So I don't need to keep checking it. I don't need to perpetuate a cycle of checking in and keep getting a no, and then creating an identity, which is like, oh, the universe just never gives me what I want, and it's always a no. If you didn't check, you won't even know. If you didn't check, you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even get an answer because you're not asking in the first place. So you wouldn't be getting a no. So then all you'll be getting is a yes because you're so busy living your life. And then when the postman comes to drop it off, it will always be a yes for you. So that's what I want to share with you guys about effortless action, not just constant pursuing, not just constant taking action, but an action as the final sequence. So if you guys love this message and you guys really enjoyed like tuning into this like kind of energy, then please let me know. I would love to hear from you. With that said, I'm gonna go get some rest. Take care, and I'll be seeing you next time. Bye.